Beyond your window, the city gently breathes, a steady hum of passing cars and distant lights flickering softly in the darkness. Inside your room, however, silence reigns absolute. There's no music, no voices, only the quiet, rhythmic pulse of your own breathing, grounding you in this moment. Others might call this isolation, loneliness even, but for you, it's something entirely different. Relief. This quiet space is where you finally stop performing, stop pretending, and simply exist without judgment. Have you ever felt a pang of shame, worrying there might be something wrong with you just because being alone comforts you more than company? I have. There was a time I believed my craving for solitude meant I was flawed or emotionally detached, that somehow I was disconnected from the world around me. Yet, the longer I sat in silence, the clearer it became. Solitude isn't emptiness. It's profound self-awareness. There's a hidden community of people, maybe you're among them, who don't merely tolerate solitude, they actively seek it. Their quietness isn't a symptom of sadness or disinterest, but rather a sign of emotional intelligence and inner strength. Psychology affirms this truth. Those who embrace solitude understand themselves deeply, and through their quiet reflection, they find a unique clarity others rarely experience. Still, society insists on labeling silence as something suspicious or wrong, as if choosing quiet over constant noise means you're avoiding life. But solitude isn't avoidance. It's a conscious return to your true self. It's the space where scattered thoughts become clear, emotions untangle, and healing gently unfolds. So, here's a truth you might recognize deep down. Choosing solitude doesn't mean you're disconnected from life. It means you're courageous enough to listen closely, authentically, to your own inner voice. But have you ever paused to wonder what that voice has been trying to tell you all along? There was a time I questioned why silence felt safer than conversation, why hours spent alone left me fulfilled rather than empty. At first I wondered if this longing for quiet hinted at something fractured within me. Yet, as I explored my inner world, I realized my affinity for solitude had deeper roots, reaching back to early memories etched into my psyche. Many of us who prefer solitude didn't arrive here by accident. Our quiet nature often grows from childhood experiences, moments when the world around us felt unstable, uncertain, or emotionally unpredictable. Perhaps we grew up in homes where love felt conditional, where conflicts hung heavily in the air like storm clouds. In these spaces, silence became our safest refuge, a sanctuary from chaos. Psychologically, this reflects a profound instinct, self-regulation. When overwhelmed by emotional unpredictability or tension, our nervous system intuitively seeks stillness as a protective mechanism. Just as the surface of a pond calms after a storm, solitude helps our minds reset, calming the turbulence stirred by external overstimulation. Research into deep psychology shows how solitude quiets the amygdala, the emotional core of our brain, easing anxiety and returning us gently to balance. I recall vividly the quiet afternoons from my own childhood, hiding in a small corner where silence became my invisible guardian. In that stillness, away from heated arguments or strained silences, I learned to hear myself clearly for the first time. The absence of noise became my mirror, gently reflecting truths hidden beneath daily turmoil. Have you ever wondered whether your comfort in silence comes from a similar place? A silent child within, still seeking peace. Solitude isn't merely refuge, it's restoration. It grants us what psychologists call interoceptive awareness, a deep sensitivity to our internal state, allowing us to notice fatigue, anxiety, peace, or longing before these emotions overwhelm us. It becomes a source of wisdom, enabling us to approach life intentionally rather than reactively. Dr. Esther Poltz profoundly captured this when she observed, Without solitude, we cannot construct our sense of self. In constant noise and external demands, we lose sight of our own truth. Solitude returns us gently to who we genuinely are, stripped of external influence. Consider solitude as an ancient tree with roots deep in childhood soil, yet branches extending toward growth, wisdom, and emotional freedom. Choosing solitude isn't escaping connection. It's consciously stepping into the silence to find authenticity. And perhaps that's the deepest question of all. Can you honor the quiet child within, and in that honoring, finally become whole? People who find comfort in solitude often carry quiet, subtle signs beneath their calm exterior. On the surface, they seem reserved, gently detached, often appearing distant even in close relationships. They might politely decline invitations, preferring nights spent at home over crowded gatherings. Others may see this as withdrawal, perhaps even sadness. But beneath this quiet demeanor lies an inner world rich in emotional nuance and complexity. Their preference for solitude is deeply tied to hidden emotional wounds, often originating from their earliest years. Perhaps as children, they lived in homes where love was uncertain, where emotions shifted unpredictably, and warmth depended on performance rather than presence. In such environments, they quickly learned that safety wasn't found in openness or conversation, but in quietness. Silence became a trusted shelter, a safe haven from emotional storms. Over time, these early experiences shaped unconscious coping strategies. Without even realizing it, they began to manage overstimulation and emotional intensity by retreating inward. Quietness evolved into a protective mechanism, shielding their hearts from feelings of rejection, judgment, or misunderstanding. Today, when life feels overwhelming or relationships too demanding, they instinctively withdraw, not to escape the world, but to preserve their emotional well-being. Imagine their emotional landscape as a deep, quiet lake. On the surface, everything appears calm and undisturbed. Yet beneath lies great depth, hidden currents, and silent complexities. The lake remains tranquil precisely because it preserves its stillness, carefully guarding its equilibrium from external disruptions. Similarly, solitude becomes their means of maintaining internal balance, a way of preventing emotional chaos from rising too close to the surface. Yet this powerful coping strategy isn't without cost. By habitually turning inward, they sometimes risk isolation, struggling to bridge the gap between inner peace and external connection. Their behavior may unintentionally distance them from others who interpret their quietness as indifference, misunderstanding the depth beneath the silence. This leads to a powerful inner question, one that often remains unspoken yet deeply felt. Is their solitude genuinely a pathway to emotional freedom? Or has it quietly become a comfortable cage? One they've willingly locked themselves inside? Like a bird perched inside an open cage, the door is unlocked, yet they remain within, comforted by the familiarity of their quiet enclosure. The cage symbolizes the invisible barrier they have created, believing it necessary for emotional survival. Yet, could stepping outside, taking gentle risks toward deeper connections, ultimately lead to greater healing? Perhaps the strongest realization isn't that solitude is harmful, but that even solitude requires balance. It is neither absolute escape nor complete isolation, but a gentle rhythm between retreat and reconnection. The ultimate challenge lies in discerning when solitude serves as medicine and when it begins to limit personal growth. Reflect quietly. Could the very silence you treasure sometimes hold you back from the fullness of life you secretly desire? Sometimes solitude begins as an escape, a quiet refuge when life becomes overwhelming, noisy, and demanding. But for those who genuinely find comfort in being alone, this silence gradually transforms from mere escape into meaningful restoration. It ceases to be a way of running from the world and instead becomes a journey inward, an intimate return home to your truest self. Initially, silence might feel uncomfortable, even unsettling. When the noise of daily life fades, emotions you've long ignored emerge. Unspoken regrets, hidden fears, moments of sadness quietly waiting to be acknowledged. Yet, within this discomfort lies a profound invitation. Solitude is asking you to face yourself gently, without judgment, creating a safe space where these buried feelings can finally breathe. Gradually, this quiet self-reflection transforms chaos into clarity. Emotions that once seemed frightening start making sense. Anxiety reveals itself as a gentle plea for rest. Sadness quietly points to what truly matters. Anger gently shows you boundaries that need care and attention. In the stillness, your inner world speaks clearly, guiding you toward emotional balance rather than emotional avoidance. Solitude isn't simply a practice of sitting quietly, it's a sacred act of reconnecting with who you truly are. Through silent moments, you reclaim parts of yourself that have been scattered, hidden, or forgotten amid life's constant demands. Here, in solitude's gentle embrace, you begin to recognize your authentic self, the one beneath all expectations, roles, and masks you've worn to please others. Yet, solitude carries a gentle warning. Too much silence can sometimes become isolation. The peaceful shelter you've created can quietly shift into a cage, one built not of steel but of comfort, familiarity, and avoidance. What began as emotional protection might subtly become emotional withdrawal. It's essential to ask yourself softly yet honestly, am I retreating to recharge, or am I hiding from life itself? The key to healthy solitude lies in balance. True healing is not about permanent retreat. It's about learning when to embrace silence and when to gently re-enter the world. Healthy solitude is active. It invites clarity, awareness, and renewal. It doesn't separate you from connection. It prepares you for it. Imagine solitude as tending to a garden. Too much water or sunlight will harm the plants, yet just enough nurtures growth. In the same way, mindful solitude offers you gentle nourishment, allowing your inner self to bloom without cutting you off from life. Ultimately, solitude gently teaches you self-compassion. It shows you the quiet strength in accepting yourself fully, recognizing that peace isn't found in perfection but in authentic presence. Through solitude, you learn to speak kindly to yourself, embracing flaws as gently as your strengths. And from this inner kindness grows resilience, stability, and the ability to truly connect with others. Not out of emotional hunger, but from genuine emotional fullness. So, when life becomes loud, when pressures build, or when the noise of expectation becomes overwhelming, allow yourself this gentle pause. Rest quietly in solitude. Listen closely to what your inner voice softly reveals. Remember, solitude isn't about escaping life. It's about returning to it with clarity, understanding, and a heart made whole by quiet reflection. If these words resonate with you, please subscribe and explore the other videos on this channel. Together, we'll continue the journey of healing, self-discovery, and finding wisdom in life's quietest moments.